A serene night in Tokyo's bustling Roppongi district. The neon lights flicker, casting long shadows on the crowded streets. Amidst the sea of faces, a young woman catches your eye. She's foreign, blonde, and seemingly carefree as she laughs with her friends. Little does she know that her night out will be her last. Fast forward a few months, and the same streets are plastered with missing person posters. The woman's face, once full of life, now stares back at passersby from countless lampposts and shop windows. Her disappearance has sparked an international manhunt, drawing attention from the highest levels of government. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. As investigators dig deeper, they uncover a chilling pattern of similar incidents spanning years. A predator has been hiding in plain sight, preying on unsuspecting women who came to Japan with dreams of adventure and opportunity.
Tim Blackman in Japan, on a mission any parent would dread. Searching for his attractive daughter Lucie, who vanished while working as a hostess in a Tokyo club. Today, Japanese police are still questioning a property tycoon about her disappearance. The suspect is believed to be obsessed by Western girls. They've combed every inch of his home, dug up the gardens of one of his 20 properties, and searched the shoreline near his seaside apartment. Yet Tim Blackman is still not certain of his daughter's fate.
Our tale unfolds in the heart of Tokyo, Japan. A city that's a fascinating blend of ancient traditions and cutting-edge technology. Picture towering skyscrapers nestled next to centuries-old temples, and bustling streets filled with both kimono-clad locals and trendy fashionistas. At the center of our story is the Roppongi district, known for its vibrant nightlife and international atmosphere. It's a place where East meets West, drawing young people from all over the world who come to experience its famous clubs, bars, and restaurants. But Roppongi has a darker side too. Behind the glittering facade lurks a world of shady deals and dangerous encounters. It's a place where dreams can come true, but also where they can be shattered in an instant. In this neon-lit playground, many young foreign women find work as hostesses in upscale clubs. Their job? To chat, flirt, and keep customers entertained, all while maintaining a strict no-touch policy. It's a lucrative gig, offering a chance to experience Japanese culture and earn good money, but it's not without its risks. Enter our main character, a young woman who arrived in Tokyo with stars in her eyes and dreams of adventure. She was drawn to the excitement of Roppongi's nightlife, seeing it as a way to pay off debts and fund her travels. Little did she know that her decision would set in motion a chain of events that would captivate the world. Lucie Blackman came from Sevenoaks, a picturesque town in Kent, England. Born on September 1, 1978, she was raised in a loving family alongside her younger sister Sophie and brother Rupert. Her father, Tim Blackman, worked as a property developer, while her mother, Jane Steer, took care of the household. Growing up, Lucie was known for her outgoing personality and zest for life. She had a knack for making friends easily and loved to travel. After finishing school, Lucie began working as a flight attendant for British Airways, a job that perfectly suited her friendly nature and desire to see the world. However, like many young adults, Lucie found herself facing financial challenges. She had accumulated some debts and was looking for a way to pay them off quickly. That's when she heard about the opportunities available in Tokyo's nightlife scene. In May 2000, at the age of 21, Lucie made the bold decision to leave her job at British Airways and fly to Japan with her friend Louise Phillips. They planned to work as hostesses in Tokyo's Roppongi district, attracted by the promise of good money and exciting experiences. Upon arriving in Tokyo, Lucie and Louise found work at the Casablanca Club. Despite the language barrier, Lucie's bubbly personality and striking looks made her popular with customers. She seemed to be thriving in her new environment, excited about the adventure and the chance to earn money to clear her debts. But life in Tokyo wasn't all glitz and glamour. The work was demanding, often requiring late nights and dealing with intoxicated customers. Despite this, Lucie remained positive, regularly calling home to update her family on her experiences. Little did anyone know that Lucie's Tokyo adventure would take a dark turn. On July 1, 2000, she informed her roommate that she was going on a dinner date with a customer. This was a common practice known as dohan, where hostesses would meet clients outside of work hours for additional pay. Lucie promised a call later that day, but the call never came. As worry for Lucie's safety grew, her family sprang into action. Tim Blackman, Lucie's father, flew to Tokyo to lead the search efforts. He was joined by Lucie's sister Sophie. Together they launched a high-profile media campaign to find her. The Blackman family's determination caught the attention of high-ranking officials. They managed to speak with Robin Cook, Britain's foreign secretary, who happened to be visiting Tokyo at the time. This diplomatic involvement elevated the case to an international level. The search for Lucie became front-page news on July 13, when British Prime Minister Tony Blair mentioned the case during an official visit to Japan. He discussed the matter with Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihiro Mori, putting additional pressure on local authorities to intensify their efforts. English-speaking volunteers staffed an information hotline, distributing flyers and posters across the city. An anonymous businessman even offered a reward of £100,000 for information leading to Lucie's whereabouts. This increased publicity had an unexpected effect. 3 foreign women came forward with disturbing stories. They described waking up feeling sore and sick in a stranger's bed, with no memory of the previous night. Some had reported these incidents to the Roppongi police, but were brushed off. These revelations hinted at a pattern of wrongdoing that had gone unchecked for years. It seemed that Lucie's disappearance might be part of a larger, more sinister picture. Japanese police faced mounting criticism for their handling of the case. Some felt they hadn't taken Lucie's disappearance seriously at first, possibly because she was working in the nightlife industry where sudden departures weren't uncommon. As the investigation deepened, attention shifted to a man who would become the central figure in this troubling case. His name was Joji Obara, born on August 10, 1952, in Osaka, Japan. Obara's background was far from ordinary. He was born to Zainichi Korean parents, a term used for ethnic Koreans living in Japan. His father had a remarkable rags-to-riches story, starting as a humble scrap collector and eventually becoming a wealthy owner of numerous properties and pachinko parlors. Growing up, Obara enjoyed a life of privilege. He attended prestigious private schools in Tokyo and received daily tutoring in various subjects. At just 15 years old, he enrolled in a top-tier prep school linked to Keio University, practically guaranteeing his admission to this esteemed institution. Tragedy struck when Obara was 17. His father passed away in Hong Kong, leaving young Obara with a substantial inheritance, including properties in Osaka and Tokyo. This early windfall set the stage for Obara's future lifestyle. After completing his education at Keio University with degrees in politics and law, Obara traveled extensively. He then took a significant step by becoming a naturalized Japanese citizen and legally changing his name. Obara's early adult life was marked by financial success. He invested heavily in real estate during Japan's economic boom, amassing assets estimated at a staggering $38 million. However, his fortunes took a dramatic turn during the 1990s recession. He lost both his fortune and his firm, finding himself pursued by creditors. It was during this time of financial turmoil that Obara's life took a dark turn. Reports suggested that he began using his business as a front for money laundering activities linked to the Sumiyoshi Kai, a notorious Yakuza syndicate. But Obara's troubles weren't just financial. He developed a disturbing pattern of behavior that would eventually come to light. He was known to be a drug user with a particular interest in women of Western origin. Authorities uncovered evidence of Obara's criminal behavior stretching back years. His method was chilling in its simplicity and effectiveness. Obara would typically approach women, often those working in the nightlife industry, and offer them drinks. What these unsuspecting victims didn't know was that their drinks were laced with drugs, usually chloroform. Once the women were unconscious, Obara would take them to one of his many properties. The scale of Obara's actions was staggering. When police searched his homes, they found over 400 videotapes. These weren't ordinary home movies. They were recordings of Obara's attacks on unconscious women. Based on this evidence, investigators believed he might have harmed anywhere from 150 to 400 women over the years. But the horror didn't stop there. Police also discovered Obara's extensive journals. In these writings, he referred to his attacks as conquest play. His entries revealed a disturbing mindset, with Obara writing that women were good only for pleasure and that he sought payback on the world through his actions. As more victims came forward, a pattern became clear. Many women reported waking up in unfamiliar places, feeling unwell, and with no memory of what had happened. Some had tried to report these incidents to the police, but were not taken seriously at the time. One case that came to light during this investigation was that of Katerina Ridgway, a 21-year-old Australian model. In 1992, Ridgway had been working as a hostess in Tokyo's Ginza area to earn money for acting school. She accepted a ride from a man who turned out to be Obara. Ridgway was taken to a hospital by a man using the name Nishida, later revealed to be one of Obara's aliases. He claimed she was suffering from food poisoning from bad shellfish. In reality, Ridgway was experiencing liver failure due to chloroform poisoning. Tragically, she didn't survive. At the time, Ridgway's death was attributed to hepatitis C. It was only years later, during the investigation into Lucie's disappearance, that the truth came to light. Police found a chilling diary entry in Obara's possession that read, "Katerina Ridgway, too much chloroform," alongside a video of him harming the unconscious woman. The breakthrough came on February 9, 2001, when police made a grim discovery in Miura, a coastal area about 50 kilometers south of Tokyo. In a seaside cave, just a stone's throw from one of Obara's apartments, investigators found what was left of Lucie. Her body had been hidden beneath a concrete-filled bathtub in a shallow grave. The scene was heartbreaking. Lucie's remains had been separated into 10 parts and placed in different bags. This discovery sent shockwaves through Japan and the international community. The Blackman family's worst fears were confirmed, and the media frenzy reached new heights. With this evidence, authorities moved swiftly to build a case against Obara. He was charged with harming Lucie, as well as similar offenses against 8 other women. The charges also included causing Katerina Ridgway's passing. Obara's trial began on July 4, 2001, attracting intense media scrutiny. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence, including the hundreds of videos found in Obara's possession and his disturbing journal entries. However, the case wasn't as straightforward as many hoped. Due to the state of Lucie's remains, investigators couldn't determine exactly how she had passed. This lack of forensic evidence would prove crucial in the trial's outcome. Throughout the proceedings, Obara maintained his innocence. He claimed that any substances the women had taken were done so voluntarily. His defense team worked to create doubt about his direct involvement in Lucie's disappearance. The trial dragged on for years, frustrating the Blackman family and the public who were eager for justice. It wasn't until April 24, 2007, that the court finally reached a verdict. Obara was found guilty of multiple offenses against other women and for his role in Katerina Ridgway's passing. However, in a shocking turn of events, he was cleared of physically harming Lucie due to lack of direct evidence. This verdict was met with outrage and disbelief. How could someone be found not guilty when Lucie's body was found so close to his property? The prosecution, unwilling to accept this outcome, immediately appealed the decision. On March 25, 2008, a new chapter in this long-running case began as the appeal trial commenced in the Tokyo High Court. This time, the prosecution came armed with additional evidence and of determination to see Obara held accountable for his actions against Lucie. The appeal process brought renewed attention to the case, both in Japan and internationally. The Blackman family, who had never given up hope for justice, watched the proceedings closely. As the trial progressed, New details emerged that painted an even clearer picture of Obara's actions. The prosecution presented evidence linking him more directly to Lucie's disappearance and the disposal of her remains. On December 16, 2008, the Tokyo High Court reached a new verdict. This time, Obara was found guilty on counts related to Lucie's case, specifically for taking her against her will, causing her passing, and hiding what was left of her. While he wasn't convicted of directly causing her death due to lack of evidence, this verdict was seen as a significant step towards justice. The court's decision was a bittersweet moment for the Blackman family. While it didn't provide all the answers they sought, it did hold Obara accountable for his role in Lucie's fate. However, the legal journey wasn't over yet. Obara's defense team appealed this new verdict, taking the case to Japan's highest court. The final chapter of this legal saga played out in early December 2010, when the Supreme Court of Japan rejected Obara's appeal and upheld his life sentence. This final decision brought a sense of closure to a case that had spanned over a decade. Obara would spend the rest of his life behind bars, not just for his actions against Lucie, but for the many other victims he had harmed over the years. The story of Lucie Blackman and Joji Obara serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability we all face, especially when far from home. It's a tale that transcends borders, touching on universal themes of loss, perseverance, and the pursuit of justice. But let's not remember this story solely for its tragedy. Instead, let's focus on the positive changes it has sparked. The Lucie Blackman Trust continues to help travelers stay safe and supports families in their darkest hours. The case has led to improvements in how missing persons cases are handled internationally, potentially saving